Hey guys, so a little long form video because I have a little bit more time on my hands right now, and I have this amazing plant flowering in front of me, and I just need to show this to someone. I mean, this plant is called SAARWELLEN. It is a hybrid by Rolf Autenrieth. And in the past, this plant was not flowering well. I mean, sometimes it flowered, then there was a year where it didn't flower at all. Then it only produced one flower. So I decided to make a cut and root it in a new pot. Like the old pot was, I don't know, this thing was completely crooked and didn't grow straight. So it constantly fell over, and I hate when plants do that. So yeah, made a cut and started rooting it in early spring. And I doubt that it will be strong enough to grow a fruit. I tested it out this year. I mean, before the season, some people told me that when you cut a plant, when you make a head cut that is flowering, that it will almost certainly grow a fruit when you pollinate it. And I don't think that's, at least not in my opinion, that's not the truth. I mean, I tried it out this year. I got fruits on my other SAARWELLEN plant, which is on its own roots, and everything that is like a graft, like not a graft, a headpiece without roots did not have the energy to grow a fruit. It might be different now, like these are probably the last wave of flowers for this year. So maybe it turns around and produces a fruit or two, but so far all the flowers on this plant failed. So all the pollinated flowers failed. But yeah, let's talk about the plant itself. This is a hybrid by Rolf Autenrieth, a breeder that has unfortunately passed away. And he came from, like, he lived in the area where I live. So, yeah, of course I was interested in this hybrid, especially since it was a hybrid between Trichocereus pachanoi and Echinopsis calorubra. This is a columnar hybrid. It grows like a classic Trichocereus. It looks a little bit like a Trichocereus terschecki. It is a little bit thicker than classic Trichocereus pachanoi, which I will show you right now. So this is pachanoi, columnar body, V-notches, very close to Peruvianus, but yeah, you get the idea. It's a columnar cactus. And this is Echinopsis calorubra. Very mean looking ribs. A very useful plant for hybrid breeding. The flowers have this, I don't know what the color is. I mean, it's like a reddish to purple kind of color. Like pinkish, purplish, very strong contrast. And works great as a father on Trichocereus. So there are a lot of hybrids with it. It is part of Echinopsis oprepanda now. Like it's the main species that all of these belong to, like Echinopsis toralapana, Echinopsis calorubra, Echinopsis franki. They are all part of Echinopsis oprepanda now. And it's good that they merged it, because it's obviously part of Echinopsis oprepanda. They are so closely related that it's hard to see a difference. Here's another plant of SAARWELLEN that I'm rooting separately, like that I have on own roots, but I just repotted it because it looks like crap. Yeah, but it flowered. First flower this year from this plant too. And I like this one. This is a very interesting hybrid. And there's a lot of potential for making crosses with it. Here's my other plant. I placed it in front of the open window so it gets water all of the time. And check out the fruits. It responded with some amazing fruits. One of them is Asterix, the other one a yellow flowering hybrid with Legon. And yeah, this one just opened like tonight. Pollen looks somewhat wet, but I might still collect some of it. And here's another hybrid with Trichocereus pachanoi and Echinopsis obrepanda. Very similar. You can see the mean looking ribs that came through, but instead of the small clumping plant, it's a more columnar like Trichocereus pachanoi. So yeah, and what I will do now is I will collect pollen from all of the flowers here. I see a lot of potential in this plant, simply because it makes crosses with Trichocereus and Lobivia and Echinopsis. So you have a hybrid that could act like a bridge to get in some of the more difficult like plants like Lobivia. It isn't easy to make crosses between Trichocereus and Lobivia, so it's sometimes helpful when you use like hybrids like this one, where someone already tried 100 times and failed 99 times. But yeah, one of them took, and this is what I have here. And yeah, I think this is a good bridge hybrid. And yeah, I will pollinate all the flowers here. I will collect pollen. I don't think it can grow a fruit, this one, simply because it doesn't have like a strong root system to grow them. But it is not impossible, so I would still try. And I'm hoping for the best. If it manages to grow a fruit, I'm happy. I'm the happiest man alive, because I've been trying to make successful crosses with these for years. And yeah, it took a while until they finally succeeded. In regards to the fathers, what I will use for these, this one I pollinated with a Pseudolobivia hybrid called 18A 2000. One of them will get Amun-Re, because I've been asked to do this cross. Amun-Re is a similar hybrid, so I'm trying to, I don't know, get a mix of both of them. Yeah, one of them, I haven't decided about the rest. Probably one or two Lobivia hybrids, and the other two will be Trichocereus hybrids. I try to cast a wide net and just hope that something will stick. I already have fruits on SAARWELLEN this year, so I can do a little bit more risky crosses this year. At this time of year, it's already very late in the season, so these might fail anyway. You know, like the fruit, if there will be a fruit, this will ripen until like November, which I hate, because it's a bad time to have a fruit on a plant. They can cause infections. Sometimes you even have a plant that ripens throughout the winter, which is even worse, because it kind of influences the flower season, the next flower season. I want this plant to go in hibernation in winter and then start fresh next year. But yeah, when they have a fruit, that's not really happening. So it takes sometimes months and months. I've had fruits that grow over winter, like from, I don't know, October until next March or even April. And then they were empty, like with just non-pollinated dead seeds inside. So not a big fan of winter fruits. So I'm trying to make this cross as soon as possible and hope for the best. Alright, yeah. Trichocereus pachanoi crossed with Echinopsis calorubra. Beautiful hybrid. looks like a, I don't know, people would call this a Trichocereus macrogonus, for example. I don't think it is one, you know, like, I know what the parents are, but this is the type of plant that is sometimes misidentified. If you would only see like the body of this one, it would be hard to identify it. And another thing that I noticed, now check out this one. So this is a hybrid between Trichocereus and Echinopsis. Trichocereus pachanoi and Echinopsis. Look at the spines. And now I'm showing you spines on another plant. This is Trichocereus tulhuayacensis. One of the few like colored flowering Trichocereus species. In my opinion, this is a natural hybrid of something like Trichocereus and Echinopsis. Something that could produce the red flower that it has, red or pinkish. Very simple, very similar spines in my opinion. I'm not saying it's the same, you know. You gotta be careful with what you say because it's not like it needs to be genetically tested to make a certain claim. But in my opinion, the red flowers on Trichocereus tulhuayacensis must come from something. Like they don't happen just by accident, you know. There must have been some red flowering or pink flowering plants like in the family tree of Trichocereus tulhuayacensis to get such a flower color. And the spines look, you know, look like a hybrid could look like. So yeah, but I'm drifting off. So this is Trichocereus hybrid SAARWELLEN by Rolf Autenrieth. I love it.